Hey, this is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro studios. Let's have some fun here. Let's see. Got a lot of light in my face. Let's reduce that light a little bit. What's going on, guys? So this is Ola coming to you live from my Empire Pro studio. Today we're talking about how to wholesale with realtors. Uh, it's an exciting topic for me. And this time, after 15 years, it's really, and I want to share some information with you with regards to working with realtors and wholesaling with realtors. Okay. And I get a lot of questions with regards to that from people that are newbies, you know, that a realtor, one or two realtors have told you that this is illegal, this is not going to work, whatever that is. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about everything, especially from a standpoint of the three pillars. If you don't know what the three pillars are, it's something you must learn. You could go ahead and get this book, okay? Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. Just go to smartrealestateWholesaling.com. The audio book is free if you're taking the Audible trial, okay? But there are other options like the paperback and like this if you like physical book like this, and there's also Kindle. And whatever format you like. Also, on that same place, just go to Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. You'll find my second book, Real Estate Money Secrets. All right. So that's basically a good way to get started. But I'm going to share everything I want to share with you today from a standpoint of the three pillars. At the end of the day, there are three pillars in any business, not just real estate wholesaling, in any business. It's value, automation, and people. The most important resource that you're going to have in any business are people, and realtors or brokers happen to be some of the people that can help you automate your business, that you can leverage in your business. And I'm going to talk about that today and the different dynamics to that. All right. With that being said, before we dive into that, I think there's a follow up here that I feel may be a good one to try to start with today. Let's see here. La, 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 la. All right, yeah, that's this guy right here. You called me the house 214 Warren in Laverne. I'm not sure. This is a transcribed message. So basically, I'm going to try to see if I can find this guy. Okay, let's see. So working with realtors, okay, working with realtors is it's a little tricky, but basically what you're looking for are top producing realtors. Okay, me if it's not top producing, but at least somebody who is actively operating as a real estate agent, somebody who has closed more than 3 to 5 deals, okay, minimum. If you talk to people that don't do deals, right? There's a reason why they're not doing deals. Okay, it's because they're busy trying to be a lawyer. Okay, it's because they're busy trying to be uh, an attorney. Okay, and that's something that people go to school for a long time for. So it really doesn't, as you can imagine, doesn't make sense, right? For anyone to try to be an attorney, right? Let me just see here. But often you'll find people, you also find savvy people as well too that always try to be the attorney and try to tell you what the law says and what's illegal and what's not legal. The truth of the matter is that once you use the word legal, right, it doesn't always mean right and wrong. Okay, just keep that in mind. Legal does not always mean right and wrong. Just keep that in mind. Um, of course, you know what's right. What's right also can depend on where your background is, where you're coming from, and just keep that in mind. I'm going to call this number, and we're going to talk to this person to see if they do in fact have a property to sell us, right? And then we're going to continue with today's session. Okay. Very important that I demonstrate to you that this business is about people. If you're not talking to people, if people are not reaching out to you or you're reaching out to people, you don't have a business. So a lot of time people would tell me, hey, I haven't closed any deal. I don't know what's going on. And I say, hey, when was the last time you make an offer? And then they freeze, right? So let's see if we can get this person on the phone. What? Hola. All right, so that was another 609 number. I thought it was the person we were trying to reach, but it wasn't. Somebody else calling me for another gig. So let's see. We're just gonna try one more time. Hello, hi. I'm returning a call back to someone who called me about a property on 214 Warren. Hi, my name is Ola. I couldn't get your address properly on your voicemail. You left me a voicemail on the, okay, sure. I can't hear from this noise. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I'm inside here. Can you hear better now? I'll get inside my pickup here in a second when I can hear you. Okay, no problem. That's what I prefer. Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, sounds better. You're calling about my property on 214 East Warren in Laverne? Yeah, can you give me that address properly? I couldn't hear it on the voicemail. It's 214 East Warren, Laverne, Minnesota. East Warren. That's W E N. Is it street or avenue? Are you looking to buy a house? I'm looking to buy, but I made quite a few calls to your neighborhood on that day. So if you can give me the address so I can pull it up real quick. It's 214 East Warren, right south of Glenn's Food Store in Laverne. Can you spell that address for me, please? Let me tell you some things about the house. The house has a roof on it that's like 2-3 years old. It cost me about $6,000. They're the best shingles you could put on a house. Mm-hmm. It's got a new furnace. Okay. It's got a new sewer from the house up the street in front. Okay. It's got all new wood doors and all the trim inside's been redone. It's got new water heater. It's got all new ceiling panels, all new lights inside. It's got all brand new carpet throughout the whole house. Okay. The garage has been all redone, except the roof hasn't been redone in the garage, but the rest of it's been all redone. It's got vinyl siding. It's got a 10-foot commercial door in front, and the walls are insulated in the garage. Okay. And it's got a full-size basement. And if a guy wanted to, he could put 2 bedrooms upstairs in the house. Okay. All right. So, how long ago did you finish all this work? Last year. Oh, last year. Is it on the market? Is it on the market right now? I have a guy living there, pays me $600 a month. I was going to charge $7. Anyway, he's a really good renter, but he's going to be out the 15th of July. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna have to pull up the address. Can you please give it to me? 214 East Warren, you said?
214 East Warren in Laverne.
East Warren Street Avenue Road?
East Warren, right south of the grocery store.
No, is it East Warren Street Road Avenue? What is it?
Warren Street.
Warren Street in Laverne, New Jersey. There
Laverne,
you go.
Minnesota.
And are you Curtis?
I haven't got it advertised or anything. I just put a sign in front.
Are you Curtis? You're not.
Curtis, yes.
Oh, your name is Curtis? I said, are you Curtis?
Yep.
Okay, so this is in Minnesota.
And it's got a big lot the place does. It's not a little bitty tiny lot either.
I'm asking you, this is in Minnesota, right?
So sometime if you want to look at it after July, I can when it gets on there.
I said,
could show it before if I get to talk to him.
Curtis, is this in Minnesota?
It's Minnesota, yeah.
Okay, in Minnesota. I'm just gonna talk to you real quick and see what we're looking at. Okay, how did you find my number? We just
Laverne, Minnesota.
Laverne, Minnesota. Okay.
I'm not selling it for less or nothing like that because I don't have to sell it at all.
Okay, I understand that. Why do you want to sell?
I think I probably talked to you before.
You probably spoke to my sister. That's possible. But why do you want to sell? I know you don't have to sell, but why do you want to sell?
But if you want to look at it sometime, let me know and I can set it up so you can look at it.
I'll take a look, but I'm asking you, why do you want to sell?
Yeah, and it's got all the windows also too. It's got big triple pane windows and all the big windows.
Can you hear me?
They're almost all new.
Can you hear me?
Am I what?
I said, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I haven't got the best hearing, but I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm asking you, why do you want to sell it?
What?
I said, why do you want to sell it?
Why do I want to sell it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm 73 years old.
I see.
That's why. But I won't sell it for less. I'm not giving it to nobody.
What's the square footage of that house?
$1,000 on the place last year, and I've sold a couple houses last couple of years, and I'm not desperate. I don't owe a dime on none of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I poured money into them for years, and they've been the best investment I ever made.
Okay, all right. So you just want your money. Basically, you just want to take your money and exit. Bottom line.
Right. I don't want no contracts or nothing.
Okay, I understand. Now, for me, in order for me to purchase your property, I'm an investor. Okay. In order for me to purchase your property, you have to be offering some kind of deal and terms. So, if you want, have you considered listing it with an agent?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not. Like I said, if you got somebody, that's what I want for the house.
How much do you want? I didn't get that number actually.
Yeah, so if you have somebody that wants to look at it, that's fine. To look at it, I could call my tenant and have him so we can get a side look at it. That'd be fine in the next month. I'm not in a hurry with it, really. I just put a sign out there.
You just put a sign out. How much do you want for it?
120.
120. Okay. So let me just give you this information, okay? It's gonna be useful for you, okay? The average sold in your area in the last 6 months is 117. 117. Okay? Now that's retail price. So if you want, you could list it with an agent, you may be able to get 120. It depends on the size of your house, honestly. But for me as an investor, that's too much money for me to dish out one time, unless you're open to terms. All right, so you could tell, don't waste your time with people that are not motivated. You could tell from as soon as it picked up, it's looking, honestly, I don't know how it found me because I'm not marketing in Minnesota. I may have a student marketing in Minnesota, but still, they're not supposed to be able to reach me. It's supposed to reach the student. But anyway, bottom line here is this: it could be. This is what happens sometimes. You you get message marketing message out there, and some number shows up on the wrong number, because I didn't know who I was calling, honestly. And you pick up a deal because the number was the wrong number, but the person had another house to sell. This could have been a deal, and I could have been virtual wholesaling in Minnesota. That's very possible. Okay, so that happens all the time. Okay, so that's where that came from. But besides, this person is not motivated, as you can see, right? So there's no need to waste any time on that. The reason why I asked why does it need to sell is because he already told me it doesn't have to sell. Then the next question is why you want to sell. Then I need to know why you want to sell. If he had told me, hey, I just want to make the most money I can make on it. Now I just don't want to deal with the house. Okay, listen, I can make you as much money as possible, but it's not going to be immediate. And then he just want 120, and then it's not going to happen because this house is actually worth 117. So it's not feasible. All right, just not feasible. All right, hold on one second. All right, so let's go on here. So this property is only worth 117. There's no point um, having a conversation if they're not open, if they don't have any real reason why they have to sell. If he doesn't have to sell, then there's no motivation, right? So if somebody doesn't have motivation, they clearly cannot be motivated. There's two different things: motivation and being motivated, right? Those are two different things, but one starts before the other. Okay, everybody that's trying to sell has a motivation. That doesn't mean they are motivated. If the motivation is money, right, then basically they better have time, right? If they want as much money as possible, they better have time for brokerage, the process of dealing with an agent and stuff like that. If the motivation is they need to exit for some other reason, they have a distress situation, a foreclosure, divorce, and they just need to get out of the house, then you need to identify what that is so you can have a conversation about that and come up with a creative solution to help them exit. And that always involve you being able to get the house at a discount. But if their motivation is money, you have to give them what they want. Value. That's the first pillar. You have to give them what they want. However way you're going to do it, that's where you want to lead with. They want money. This guy wants money. The only way I could serve him is if he wants to list the house on the market, and he didn't sound like he was motivated. He wanted a quick money, but he wanted money. That's too bad combination. That's not gonna work. He has zero motivation, basically. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. So now let's get back to working with realtors. Okay, the first way I could work with a realtor is number one, this guy, if he had wanted money, but he's also open to talking more about it, or if you could hear me properly, because he had a difficult time hearing too. It's a 73-year-old guy with a hearing problem, because he mentioned that. I don't know if you heard it. He was having a hard time hearing me. So that was making things a lot more difficult too, right? So if you could hear me, then I could potentially say, hey, I can get you as much money as possible. You got 60 to 100 days. And like, yeah, yeah, we can make that happen. If you want to show it, like, listen, I'm gonna have my agent come out there and take a look at the property, take some pictures, and we're gonna try to get you highest and best offer. Because why? Because his motivation is money. Okay, his motivation is money. And if you could hear me, I could have a more quality conversation and say, hey, you know what, this is how we're going to get you what you want. Basically, we need to focus on what they want. And when you're talking to a prospect, you always want to focus on what they want. And if you don't take the time to ask quality questions and hear them out, you're not going to know exactly what they want. Sometimes they will say a lot of stuff in between words, and you have to kind of read in between the line to find out exactly what they want. It's called fact finding. Okay, you want to find the motivation, and then you want to lead with that, basically by saying that's what you want, I'm going to focus on that. Or you need time, you need to get out of this like right now, like Okay, let's focus on that. They don't care about money. They just need to offload the property. That's ideal. That's payday, right? But how do you get to such deals? You have to basically be marketing all the time. Okay, consistently. You have to be marketing consistently. All right. So that's one way of working with realtors. You take somebody like that, you hand them over to your agent, and your agent will do their magic. Okay. So make sure it's an agent that's already producing. Don't be the one to be training an agent on how to produce. Basically, in general, you don't want to be the one teaching an agent what double closing is. You don't want to be the one teaching an agent what assignment contract is. You don't want to be the person teaching an agent what LLC transfer is. You don't want to be that, because if you have to do that, they by default, for the most part, are going to they're gonna conclude that you're trying to do something illegal. That's just the way it works. Okay, they're not even gonna take the time to go Google it and see that these are legitimate strategies. They're just gonna assume that what you're trying to do is illegal. The same thing goes for title companies that are not familiar with those things. Try to avoid being the one to teach them about those things. Okay, somebody's going to teach them, by the way. Someone will teach them, and some of them will be open, and you could have a conversation. If you have some kind of relationship, you can have a conversation and talk about it if they're open. But once they go into that sounds like, don't bother, because it goes it's a it's a domino effect, and it's that's a word, there's a word phrase I'm looking for. Basically, it's not going to be good from that point. The moment they're a little skeptical about real estate investor friendly strategies, they are going to continue to be skeptical, and it's not going to be any better. It's not going to get better. You're going down the drains. Okay, that whole idea is going down the drain. So what you don't want to go down the drains with that is essentially your time. You don't want your time to go down the drains with the idea of trying to explain to them. So find people that understand what you're doing, and focus on that. Hello to Aaron Johnson. Shout out to Aaron Johnson. Hello, hello. Hello. If you're out here hanging out with me, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate that much. Okay. All right. So with that being said, so that's one way to work with realtors. Okay, those are the rebuttal right there. Those are the headache sometimes you have to deal with. Is basically when you find yourself having to explain to a title company, an attorney, or on what double closing is, or stuff like that. You don't want to engage with that. It's not worth your time. Just like I said. Okay. So now the other way to work with realtors is to actually get realtors information in any time you're focused in. Collect the information, their email address and their phone number is available on the MLS. So basically, you will need access to the MLS, or you can have a friend MLS say, "Hey, can you pull out the realtor in the town for me?" Or there are services out there that actually sell them. That sell that data. It's just another piece of data, okay, and it's public data because they're actually marketing themselves, because they're supposed to be business people. If they're doing the right thing, they're supposed to be marketers, okay? That's realtors, right? So if you Google your local town and say agents, a list of agents, you should be able to come up with stuff, okay? And you could go by way of the board. You go to the website of the board, realtors board of that town, and you could collect some information, and you could reach out to them and say, "Hey, I'm going to have off-market deals every now and then. I'm an investor." Don't say you're a wholesaler, because you're not really a wholesaler if you're following me here. Okay, you may have started as a wholesaler, but here I am converting wholesalers to professional investors. Okay, so keep that in mind. Wholesaling is just one of the many tools in your box. Okay, so basically, you can reach out and say, "Hey, I may have some off-market deals. Sometimes I need to dispose. I need you to help me with that. Do you mind giving me your email address so I can send you anything I have for evaluation?" Of course, what do you think they're going to say? An average realtor makes $8,000 a year. They're going to say yes. Okay. If you The way you say certain things sometimes can make all the difference. If you're out there saying, "Hey, you know about wholesaling?" Oh, when you're signed it up, if you're out there doing that, of course they're gonna be skeptical. Okay, because naturally they're trying to obey all the laws. They want to give all the disclosure. They just thought, when you go to a real estate agent license class to get licensed, what they teach them is just laws. They don't teach them anything that's going to make them money. Okay, they don't teach them marketing. Okay, they don't teach them how to reach out to people. They have to actually get the license first, and then their broker will attempt to teach them. Okay, and usually that's a fail too. Okay, because they will tell them to talk to family and friends, and usually that doesn't work out too. just like an MLM. Okay, that doesn't work out for the most part because most people are on Zillow searching for their next home, and whatever realtor they see on the side on Zillow, that's who they're gonna work with. Okay, so you see a lot of realtors that understand the power of digital marketing today. They're stealing a lot of clients from people who are busy talking to family and friends. There's nothing wrong with letting your family and friends know what you do, but that's just about that. That's the value of it. Just let them know. But that's not marketing strategy, okay? But realtors, for the most part, don't understand that. So when they go to those classes, they learn the laws and all the encumbrances, easements, the different real estate laws, real estate related laws, the different terminologies. That's what they teach them there. They don't teach them marketing. So by default, their mindset is set up to be skeptical about everything. Is that the right way to do it? As opposed to them worry about how to get clients that's willing to buy a house or willing to sell a house, right? And make some money and figure the rest out along the way, or let the attorneys figure out what the legalities are. You let the title companies and the attorneys figure those things out. That's not your job as a realtor, but they don't understand that for the most part. For the most part, well, a realtor is a marketer. Their job is to prospect, market, and do deals. But most of them don't understand that. That's why an average realtor makes $8,000 or less per year. However, there are realtors out here making 2 million, 3 million, $4 million per year, of course, right? So you're probably not going to be able to get those ones, the top producers, to be sending you comps, because you shouldn't be looking for comps from them. You should have your own tools for generating comps, right? But at least they can help you dispose. At least they can assign somebody in their team to you, right? Bottom line is this, okay? You want to make sure that the person you're talking to closed at least 5 to 10 deals in the last 1 year. Okay. If that person has not closed 5 to 10 deals in the last 1 year, that's a hungry realtor or a part-time realtor who doesn't care about being a realtor. And yes, they may be skeptical when they hear anything that sounds completely out of the box. So what's the solution to that? Don't have conversations with people that are skeptical. Have conversations with people that are open, because that's what you would do with a prospect. You need to pick people's interest and see if they're open. And then if they're open to learning something new, then you share with them, hey, let me send you a link. This is how double closing works. But don't send double closing link to somebody who already said it's illegal. They're still going to tell you, no, it's illegal, because they're going to see that little part that says, oh, the legalities of it. Well, real estate has legalities, duh. But just keep that in mind. That's how that works. So realtors will help you dispose lots of properties. They will help you sell your properties more than other wholesalers will help you sell your properties. That's a fact. Okay. Why? Because they're just trying to sell a property and make a commission. If you can pay commissions, they will sell your property all day long. And that's all they should be doing for you. Hey, I got this property. I need to help me see if you can find a buyer on your buyer's network. I'm going to send it to you right now. Who's the on record? The owner on record? The owner on record is my client. But just help me get it. I have it under contract, and you didn't understand what that means, that you have a property under contract, and you have to explain yourself. And you're like, "But you can't really sell a house that you don't really own." And they start saying those things. Clearly, they're ignorant. But there's a very good chance you're not going to be the one to educate them on that day. If you really feel like you must help that person, grab a link of Wikipedia explaining double closing and explaining assignment, and send it to them, and leave it alone and go find somebody else. Because at the end of the day, okay, if you're chasing after them, they're going to feel more and more the pressure that basically feels like you're trying to get them to do something illegal. You need options as usual, right? Value, automation, people, and you need lots of people. And we have 7 billion of them. So you don't have shortage of people. You just have to be open to looking for the right people, okay, to be on your team. And then when you find the right ones, you use them over and over and over and over again. Here's what the ones that you're looking to work with, here's what they will say. It says, oh yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay, all right. And they understand that there's a title company, there's an attorney to help them protect legalities, and they don't get involved in that. They may say, hey, okay, okay, that's how that works. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with it. I just closed a deal with an attorney, and she just told me, yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, the title company will handle that. That's what she told me. Okay. And then I find out as we're going along that she wasn't exactly familiar with the process, but it was okay because she was open. Okay, by the time she spoke to the girl at the title company and we'll go back and forth a few more times, she got it all figured out. Guess what? She can now close more deals with more investors, especially with me. Okay, young lady, she can close more deals with me. All right, but if she had been like, no, 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 we're not allowed to do that, and she was all like, no, 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 I know the type of you guys, investors are always trying to do something shady. If somebody starts saying that, don't waste your energy on them. There's more than enough people out there that are open to learning something new, learning more ways to close more deals as long as it's done legally. And they understand that legality does not always mean right and wrong. It's just sometimes the guideline that the government agencies has put in place to help protect the consumers. That's all it is. Doesn't necessarily mean right and wrong. And that's why there are attorneys and there are licensed agencies, title agencies to help protect those things. So for me, the only thing I worry about is marketing and dealing with being the best human version I can be to my client, to my sellers, my buyers, and just be nice and just being able to find them solutions that, hey, I'm not sure about how that works, but let me call you back in 2 minutes. I just did that like twice just now. I had to call people back. Sometimes you have to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes people will start vomiting their own insecurities on you about the business, and the place they go very quick is something is illegal. Okay, especially if they already heard some people are making money. Oh yeah, and they're very skeptical about somebody making money or somebody else makes money. You know, everyone has insecurities of some sort, and the first thing they would do is try to throw up all on you about their insecurity, but they'll camouflage that as telling you that you're wrong. It's not right and wrong. It's about staying within the guidelines of the law, and that's why you have licensed title agents and lawyers and things like that to help you with that. So that's how to work with realtors. Realtors are your friend. You can leverage them to do more deals. Okay. But just like you hire VAs, just like you hire an employee, you're hiring them. So you get to choose. The same thing with the title agents, agency, the same thing with an attorney. You're the one hiring them. Loan officer, you're the one hiring them, and you get to choose if you want to work with them or not. And if they smell blood, if they smell that you're not sure about yourself, they will chew you all up and spit you out. And then you'll feel bad about it and you will think you'll do something wrong, but actually it's because you didn't show up with the confidence that you need. Sometimes you have to take away. When you're talking to people and they say, hey, I have this deal. I need you to. Oh no, no, but I don't want to mess with those kind of. What is it? Wholesale? Oh, you don't want to mess. Okay, I can appreciate that. I'll call you later. Hang up right away and call somebody else. I guarantee you they're gonna call you back and be like, "What is it again?" You got to be able to take away from people. Okay, that includes clients, prospects, sellers, buyers, title companies, because at the end of the day, you're not trying to do anything crazy or anything shady or anything like that. You're just trying to do business, right? So people should be open to say, what is that again? Ask questions if they need more questions. Come up with a solution as opposed to shutting things down. If you're talking to an attorney or a realtor and it sounds like they're trying to kill a deal rather than make a deal, then you know what time it is. It's time to find somebody else because you do have options. Tons of them out there hungry that we actually hungry doesn't mean they're not producing. It just means they understand that relationships with everyone, wholesalers, investors, they understand that that's what makes the bank. So they're not trying to kill no deals. If anything, they will ask more questions and try to solve a problem. Those are the kind of people you're looking to talk to. Are we making sense? All right. So please make sure you give it a thumbs up if everything I said is making sense. So now let's do a little bit of Q&A. All right, before we round off of the day. All right. So let's do a little bit of Q&A. Let's see. Awesome, awesome. Now, I'll try to add the group, Facebook group in the box below so you can join us in there. If you're looking for personal one-on-one coaching, you can go through the same route. Just go to smartrealestateWholesaling.com, get the book, and then from there you see my contact information so we can talk about potentially me personally coaching you on your journey if that's what you need. Let's see here. Let's do this is actually my one of my favorite part of this segment. Okay. By the way, make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you click the bell notification so you're notified every time I come here or I upload a brand new video. We're trying to get the channel weight up. We have over 600 videos here, so make sure you watch other videos once we're done with this session. Let's see here. Uh, d- 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 all right. All right. So join the group. Find a group. Again, go to smartrealestateWholesaling.com. That will give you access to everything you need to succeed in the business. But the business is so simple, but it's so simple it's not easy. Let's because sometimes when things are too simple, uh, that matched together with our complicated brain makes it hard. Okay, because it depends on your background, and that's why sometimes you need a coach to help you identify where your best talent and resources are and where to best allocate your resources, including your time. All right, so let's see here. Let's see. Okay. All right. So somebody asked a question here. Somebody says, "Hey everyone, just curious on how different everyone is wording their exit clause on their purchase agreement contract to get them out in the case they don't find a buyer to assign to within the 30-day window their contract allows for." Okay. So that's a good question. That question will come up over and over, I guess. People looking for a way to exit as opposed to looking for a way to do the deal. That's kind of funny, right? It's funny that the brain goes to, what if everything is wrong? As opposed to, what if everything is right? you know, what if the glass is half full as opposed to half empty, right? Same thing. It just depends on the perspective, right? So exit clause in a contract is basically any clause that allows you to say, I don't want to do anymore, but I can leave, and I'm not obligated to close on the contract. Here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? When you sign a contract to buy a property, if you don't have the money to buy the property, what can happen? What's going to happen? I don't know. What's the worst that can happen? I guess you get sued, right? I guess, your contract means you have to hold your own end of the bargain, I guess, right? But here's another way to look at it. Let me give you another way to look at this thing, as opposed to looking at it from a half glass empty standpoint. Like, what if I don't do the deal? Well, first of all, you should be doing your analysis properly before you put a property under contract. But even with that being said, sometimes I put a house under contract and I kind of have doubts that I'll be able to do it, right? So there are a couple of things that I do put on my contract. I do put subject to attorney's approval. Okay, that's one way, So if my attorney doesn't approve it, I can exit, right? Subject to inspection. Okay, and I just say subject to inspection. I don't put a particular number of days. Okay, so that also gives me an open end. Okay, that's one way, but that's the least of the issue. The biggest of this issue is that why are you worried about how to exit the property as opposed to going to the table, negotiation table, and saying, I'm going to make this happen. We're going to make this happen. So worst case scenario, you come back, the price is too high. I just did that earlier today. Somebody is asking for 325. I said, well, my investor in my network are only willing to pay 220. I have it under contract. I'm just open. I already disclosed to them, like, listen, um, 350 is kind of 325 is a stretch, and I'm going to see if I'm going to put on that contract with you. I'm going to see if some of my investors are interested in, right? My investors are coming back at 220 so far. Okay, simply because the property is a situation that is not it's not a house 70% ARV. Is a house that has a bigger potential because it's a bigger land. Okay, so it will need some kind of subdivision. So when I told him, I said, listen, my investors are saying 220, more like 220. He said, well, if it's going to be that, I might as well just build it. I said, well, you let me know what you want to do. But I'm still working on it. How's that? Let me know what you want to do. But right now, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to close right now in 10 to 14 days at 220. Why? Because I have somebody on my network who's interested at that number already, right? So why is it that I'm having my conversation that way and I'm not worried about exit? I'm not trying to exit unless I close a deal. Well, how about that? I want to close the deal, make some money, help them out, help them get rid of a property that they truly don't want, right? And then we make money. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking about what if I don't close the deal. What if I don't close the deal? Then I don't close the deal. It's very simple. We'll release each other. You ask for a release. You can always ask for a release from any contract. Keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. How do I know? Because I've dealt with banks for the longest, for years, since 2005. Short sales. The homeowner agreed that they will pay $300,000, but now the house is worth $200,000. Yes, they're still on the hook, but I tell them, I say, this piece of whole is only worth 150. Take 200 and keep it moving. And the bank said, okay, here's a release. I released the $300,000 mortgage. Contracts are not designed to be broken, but they can be broken with agreement between two parties. If it's not possible to close, it's not possible to close. You can ask for, if you really want to be that sorry, excuse my French, about exiting a deal, then just ask for a release, okay? And a simple release text message, I release this person for a contract regards. That does it. That's legal. That's the legalities of it. Again, I keep telling you, these things are legal stuff, and these are the least of your worries when it comes down to doing a deal. Just make people happy, give people value. First pillar, approach with value always. When you're dealing with a realtor too, who wants to be in, or approach with value. They don't want to talk about stuff that sound illegal to their head. Exit them as fast as humanly possible. Hire somebody else. You're talking to a homeowner, and you try to get them as much as you can get them because they insist they want more, and then you couldn't get them and say, hey, I tried. My investors are not interested at that price. Let's renegotiate. Let's see if we can make something happen. Time has passed, so they may be more open. Timing may be right for a better deal. Look for opportunities to negotiate. Stop looking for opportunities to quit on yourself. Stop looking for opportunities to tell yourself that the business doesn't work, because it does work. All contracts are renegotiable. Okay. The only requirement is that both parties have to agree to it. That's it. And why would they not want to agree to it if that's going to help them move faster or move beyond or move on, right? So again, exit clause is, it's something, it's the least of your worries, really. What you should be worried about is filling your pipeline. Worry about filling your pipeline. Worry about marketing so much you're filling your pipeline with new people calling all the time. People are calling from Minnesota, and you weren't even marketing in Minnesota. Okay, that's how busy your marketing should be. If you're doing that, trust me, there are people that you've paid, that you will pay, that will worry about the legalities of your contract. Okay, that's it. That's all I can tell you. So again, this is a mindset issue right now. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if anybody answered that. Uh, yeah, of course, it's a bunch of gurus answering him. Let's go into another one. I need some advice. I've been in contract with the owner of a property, and he doesn't want anything to do with the property. From talking to him, he only wants $10,000, and the back taxes cleared up. How much is that? Taxes are totaling 11K. Okay, so that's total about $21,000 that needs to come up. What's the best way to go about this? Should I offer to pay the taxes in exchange for the deed? With respect to what? How much is the property worth? That's the additional question. How much repairs does the property need? You need those two pieces of information. How much is the property worth based on the market in the last 6 months within 1 mile radius to the subject property? You need to know what that number is. Then you need to know how much work the property needs, if it needs any repairs. Most likely it will. Okay. What's a creative should I offer to pay the taxes in exchange for the deed? What if you pay $21,000 and the property is only worth 17? Then you're screwed, right? You need to know what the property is worth, right? So, what's the creative way to go about this? Any advice is greatly appreciated. I apologize for asking what I wasn't able to find anything in the search bar. Well, this is another person that's not educating themselves. You should, at least at the minimum, if you're going to approach wholesaling real estate investing, you should at least know the maximum allowable offer formula. Okay, how much are you allowed to offer? You should at least know that. People asking this kind of question has not educated themselves. There's a ton of people coming into the game not educating themselves because they're busy watching testimonials of people making money. There's no easy money. Let's keep it smooth and clean, right? There's simple money. There's no easy money. You have to work, and it starts from educating yourself. Okay, so the first step is to know what the property is worth. The second step is to know if it needs any kind of repair. How do you find out what the property is worth? Well, you can. There's a ton of website out here where you put the address in, you have an idea of what it's worth. You can start from Zillow. There's another property. There's another website called Real Estate ABC. There's some more advanced tools that I recommend for my students that allows them to do a more clean analysis of what a property is worth. And once you find out what a property is worth, then you find out what work it needs. How do you find out how much work it needs? You ask the homeowner. That's it. Just ask them. They're usually very honest on what they think it needs. Does it need a brand new kitchen? Does it need a new roof? Doesn't, as you can notice, the person I spoke to earlier was telling me everything he has fixed in the property. So basically, there's no real motivation outside that he just wants money. If all they want is money, then that needs to be a brokerage situation. They need to have time to expose the property properly to the market so they can get the highest and best offer. Value, leading with value, leading with whatever it is that they want. All right. So, should you offer to pay the tax in exchange for the deed? What's a creative way to go about this? Any advice is greatly appreciated. I apologize for asking. Also, he lives a few hours away and doesn't have the key to the property anymore. What paperwork do I need to gain access legally? All right. So, first thing first, that kind of person, if they're that motivated, once I find out that the property is worth more than, so I'm paying $10,000 to him. That's $11,000 back taxes. That's $21,000. I need to repair the property. I'm gonna just off my hand right now. I don't know the property, but let's just say I'm gonna estimate. Let's say 40, $50,000, $50,000. So 50 plus 21, that's $71,000. Okay. So for me to drop $71,000 to buy the property, pay the taxes, fix it up, right? I need to be making about $110,000. So I invest $71,000, $110,000 came back. That's 30% return on my investment. Gross, gross, gross profit, right? Because there are other stuff I have to pay for, right? So if the property is worth $110,000 on the market, then we may have a deal, provided that the property needs $50,000 of repair. If it needs less, then that's just more profit, or the more money I can give to the homeowner. It's all numbers, but you need to learn this stuff. Okay, so the first question, of course, that the people are asking, what's the ARV? What are the repair costs? If you don't know this stuff, why are we talking? Why are we talking about this property? We need to know that first before we worry about how much back taxes, before we worry about how much he wants. Okay, that's the way it works. So when this person was asked what's the ARV, after repair value, by the way, or after rehab value, the person says not sure yet. He lives a few hours away and lost the key. Is going to give me. So there's no need to ask this kind of question, I guess. People are looking. I mean, once you start training people that they can get into a game for free and just not educate themselves, then we can't blame them for asking questions like this. All right, so here's another one here. Okay, so a lady owes $82,000 on the property and she just want to get rid of it. Okay, do I put the $82,000 on the contract? Again, just too many people. I'm sorry. I actually appreciate that there's so many people trying to come into the game because it's a good thing. Okay, it just means more market. Okay, but do yourself a favor if you're trying to be a good student of wholesaling. Okay, learn how it works, educate yourself, invest in yourself, learn how it works because this person is lucky to be asking right now. Majority of people are not even asking. They go lock a property under contract, ridiculous, or they make a fool of themselves, or they mess up a deal for everyone, and then we figure it out later. But we just lost a deal that could have been 30, 40, $50,000. So do yourself a favor to keep things clean. Educate yourself a little bit. Know what an ARV is. Know what a repair cost is. Okay. Know how to find that out. Know what a MAO is, maximum allowable offer, or maximum cash offer, MCO. Okay. You need to know how to calculate that number before you can ask any further question with regards to investing. The same thing goes across board. It could be a development deal. It could be, you need to know just that basic arithmetic in order to move forward. So the person said, do I put $82,000 on the contract for the title company before I give my price to the buyers? Or do I put zero due to the fact that she don't want any money out of it? Whoa. What you should do is find a mentor. And that's what you should do. What you should do is find a mentor and work for them for free, okay? Or pay $50,000 for a mentor to mentor you on how the game works. It will be worth it. I don't care if you pay $100,000. Once you master this game, it's worth it, okay? All right. Somebody say, hey guys, is it normal for a seller to ask for proof of funds? That is an awesome question. That is an awesome question. All right. Somebody say, can you please shout out my friend Hugh Jazz? What's up, Hugh Jazz? Thank you for hanging out. And what's up, Flat Top Fury? All right. So that's an awesome question right there. Hey guys, is it normal for a seller to ask for proof of funds? Okay. So I don't know if the real question is it normal. Okay. It's absolutely normal for generally for a realtor, an agent, okay, or a seller to ask for proof that you can afford this house. Okay. But that's easy. You can get them a proof of funds. Okay. You could talk to a hard money lender that could get you a proof of funds. That's easy. That's free. Just find a hard money lender in your local market, a sales guy or something like that. They'll get you a proof of fund. You show it to them. So the problem solved. But the more bigger issue here, okay. By the way, if you're enjoying the session, please give it a thumbs up. If you're watching, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It helps us spread the word. Okay. The more question is, why is somebody asking for a proof of fund? Why is that the on the top of their priority as opposed to they need to get rid of a property? So you have two things, two motivations competing right now. Give me proof of funds. I need to get rid of this property. Okay, give me proof of funds. I need to get rid of this property. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. Okay, I want you to keep that in mind. Some people can be actually motivated and they're asking for proof of funds, but you can also smell it when they're talking to you. Oh, this person is just, they're a little bit too educated. There's no such thing as too educated, but they're much more educated than an average person that calls you. So they know that you're supposed to give proof of funds. Okay, say, oh, you need proof of funds. Okay, I'll get you proof of funds. Okay, that's not a problem. I'll send that in. I'll send that in with the contract. And just basically add that to the contract and you send that to them. They either sign it or they don't sign it. Um, but the one when somebody, I want you to keep in mind that it's very likely that they're not motivated if they're asking for proof of funds. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not motivated. They could be motivated, but if you're having a lot of obstacles dealing with this person, and then in addition to that, they ask you for proof of funds, essentially a seller that's basically playing hard to get. Okay, you do not have time to spend that much time with a prospect or a seller. Okay, you should have another 1,000 prospects waiting on your list to call, and you should go ahead and try to call that person. Okay, especially if you know that along with many other obstacles you've had with this prospect, they're not asking for proof of funds. If all they're asking for, if everything sounds aligned, meaning they need to get rid of the property, right? They really want to get rid of the property, right? If everything sounds aligned, like it's gonna be a motivated seller, but they just want that one thing, then just find a hard money lender to give you one for free and give it to them. Problem solved. Okay, but I'm just giving you a heads up that there's a good chance that that person is not a motivated seller. And what should you do with non-motivated sellers? Okay, what should you do with non-motivated sellers? Put them in the follow-up box. Call them back in 3 months' time. That's what you should do. Okay, don't spend any time, unnecessary amount of time with a non-motivated sellers. Okay, so somebody say any. Uh, let's say, in my experience, sellers don't typically ask for proof of funds. It can and will happen, but it's going to happen the majority of the time. Almost certainly not. Yeah, I've never had a seller ask me for proof of funds either. Um, I had somebody last week asked one of my prodigies and I for a certified check, and I said it's not motivated. Leave him alone. Let's keep marketing. Very simple, right? Follow up with him in 3 months' time. Let's see if he remembers what a proof of fund is in 3 months' time. Sometimes you got to do that. And if he never becomes a deal, it's okay. It's 300,000 more houses out here, right? All right. So, all right. So somebody says if you show a proof of money, basically he or she is leading the sale, possibly, but not necessarily. Like I said, it's not a 100%. Not you always be like, I have a team of investors that works with me and we all look forward to add more houses to our portfolio and we rehab and sell it. If he asks for proof, said once the contract is signed, the title company will handle the money. That's a good answer too. Again, just you have to. That's actually I actually agree with that, but that you have to maintain the posture, maintain your posture when you're talking to those people. If you find yourself in a place where it feels like they're interviewing you, you may be losing your posture at that point in time. The number one reason for that is because you're not asking quality questions. You should be asking a lot of questions about the house, where they're moving to, how soon they want to move. You should be asking so much question that they're busy, for the most part, talking to you. So 75% of the conversation is they're talking, right, and not asking you for a proof of fund. If they ask you for a proof of fund, again, it's a good answer. My title company will handle all of that. Okay, just let's just get the contract signed so we can open escrow. Very simple. There's multiple ways you can ask that. Just keep in mind that what you're trying to do is maintain your posture and your confidence. Okay. You could stare them in the face too when they're proof of fund. Okay, we'll handle that. Now I have a few more questions about the house, like that, just like that. Okay. You know, you just stare them right in the face when they ask you and say, "Oh, proof of funds. Okay, okay, we got that. We got that." I have a few more questions about the house and how soon do you need to move again? You flip it back on them. That's confidence. Okay, that's confidence, and you need to show up with that 100% of the time, because if they don't feel like they know you, like you, and trust you to deliver, we got a problem. Okay, all right. So somebody says, "Hey guys, I'm signing up for Deal Machine, and I don't know if I should put my real name." That is funny. Put a fake name. Let's see if a fake name helps you get more deals. All right. So let's see here. Let's see if we can handle one more question here. Let's see. Let's see. Hmm. Guys, if you're hanging out with me live and you want to ask questions, feel free to ask questions as well too. As a matter of fact, that's what you should be doing. Somebody says I have a potential deal with the seller. I don't know what a potential deal means, by the way. If you find yourself saying potential deal, stop. Your marketing is shot. You don't have, or maybe you don't have any marketing at all, right? You should not have time to know if a deal is potential or a real deal. You should not have that much time. You should not have that much room in your head. Your marketing pipeline should be so filled up that you don't know if a deal is potential or not. It's a deal or it's not. Okay. But anyway, I'm nitpicking the words, but these little words here and there is basically a sign of the wrong mindset approaching this business. Okay. Would be my first deal. Yeah, it's only people that are doing their first deal that think something is a potential deal. Just keep that in mind. A deal is a deal. The only thing you should ever be talking about is a lead. Once something converts from a lead, it goes to a deal. That's when you close. Okay. A lead, a prospect, sometimes can be used interchangeably. That means, I guess, that's a potential deal. Okay. But a lead, everyone knows that a lead is just worth what they're worth. It's the contact information. Yes, that can potentially become a deal. But I'm just worried about the kind of person that will call something the phrase potential deal. It's usually not a good look. They're probably spending way too much time on that seller. That's usually what it means. Okay. I started a company and she's asking me for the address. If somebody is asking you for the address, they think you're a realtor, right? They want your address. Give them a PO box. Okay. Leave them a PO box number. Uh, Tell them that your title company has all that information. That you give them the address to the title company once the contract is locked in. That's another way to do it. But if you have to say all of that I just said, it's probably you're talking to the wrong person. Probably, okay. It's probably not motivated enough, and you're not taking control of the conversation again, and you're not asking quality questions. They should be busy talking about themselves and everything that's wrong with the property. Okay. Remember the conversation I had with the gentleman just at the beginning of this call today? He was busy telling me everything that was good with the property. At that point in time, if I didn't want to be polite, I should just hang up. Once somebody start telling you everything that's right with the property, don't hang up. I'm just saying that's basically borderline where it's at. You should be like, tell me anything that's wrong with the property. How old is the roof? The roof is brand new. All right, so let's get you more money for this house. Why are you not chasing after more money for the house? No, I thought you were giving me an offer. I'm not gonna give you more money for the house unless you need to get out of the house. Is that what the situation is? Do you need to sell? No, I don't need to sell. Okay, let's talk about getting the most money for the house. Change, flip the conversation, focus on what they want. And by talking like that, I take over the conversation. And if they can't stand that, few times, maybe less than 1% of the time, a few folks that don't like me coming up like that, and that's okay. I just let them go. I need to be in control of the conversation. That's the bottom line. Okay. So she says she searched for my company online but couldn't find an exact match to mine. Remember, see, some people say, hey, I work with this LLC. I work with this person with buyhomes.com. Don't say that. Just talk as yourself. People do business with you because they know you, like you, trust you. They feel like they know you, like you, or trust you. You, as a human being, once you start companies are out here to take advantage of people. That's people's belief generally. Don't So avoid being a company. How about that? You say, I'm a private investor. I'm looking for property. I work with quite a few private investors and we buy houses all the time. Don't say all that, by the way. Just say, I'm a private investor. I'm interested in your property. Tell them what you're giving them, the value you're leading with immediately. Don't waste time. Don't waste their time because they will take over the conversation and then you lose. But the moral of this story is that no, you're not a company. Stop acting like you're a company. The company is designed so you can file proper taxes with Uncle Sam, so you can save on taxes, not for people to go Google a company name. They can Google your name if they want. Tell them your Facebook profile. You're just a regular private investor looking to purchase more homes. I'm a private. I use that word private all the time. A private investor. Where's your property? Where you guys located at? What do you mean, you guys? I'm a private investor. I'm looking to buy a property. Right? So because I don't have a website yet, what should I say? Yeah. Don't say you're a company or you work for this blah blah blah, or you're don't say you're Anthony from We Buy Homes LL. Don't say stuff like that. Anything that comes up not natural anyway will kill any potential deals for you. Okay. All right. That's what I have for you. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated for the day. Hopefully that was good stuff. If you like this session, please do me a favor. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Don't forget to go to Smart Real Estate. That's Smart Real Estate Wholesaling.com and go get the two books, Real Estate Money Secrets and Smart Real Estate Wholesaling. Awesome book. Awesome book. That I didn't say that. People that have been reading that have been saying that. You can see the reviews on there as well too. Smart Real Estate Wholesaling, smartrealestatewholesaling.com is where you want to go to grab those. And if you want a private coaching from me personally, you go to the same place. You will see access to that information on how to get personal coaching directly with me. Okay. Um, so we can help you cut your learning curve short, as opposed to you roaming around YouTube for the next 2 years looking to scrape information together. I give you a straight shooter, exactly what you need to do to get to the deal. Okay, to your first deal or to your next deal. That's what I'm here to help you with. Okay, hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.